Hey guys, how's it going? DUJ2 here, and welcome back to Fortnite Save the World, and let's talk some recent changes. So let's jump right into this, guys. We got a lot to talk about. The first thing we're going to talk about is this beautiful thing right here. This tweet just came out no longer than a few minutes ago, actually. Yeah, it just came out. I just saw it on my tweet, my feed. I was like, oh my gosh, we have to talk about this because this is absolutely awesome. So what is it? We will be releasing a small client patch tomorrow, April 22nd at 8 a.m. Eastern, to fix an issue which caused console players to be kicked from Save the World matches. There will be no downtime. This is absolutely wonderful, guys. This does show that even though, and I'm going to pull up the Trello board in a second so we can look at it, even though there is some things there that are showing and some things that have actually gone into the red, this is actually one of them that has gone to the red. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at the Trello board right now so we can look at it. Yes, that is the Trello board back there. There it is right there. Save the world. We've got players may be kicked from match or unable to load into a zone in progress. And even though this one has been talked about, I talked about this earlier as well. If you guys had any questions about this, you could go to the links into the Trello board and also Reddit, because the main thing about this one is that it seemed that they weren't really sure what was causing this issue. So it's fantastic to see that they are working on it. We also see here the degraded console performance. And the other thing that we still see that I gotta say has not been talked about, and something that's not on the Trello board too, and this is something that we're going to talk about right now, that actually it's a little bit how can I put this, it's a little bit disheartening. It's very disheartening, and there's a lot of you guys out there who watch me, and a lot of you guys who have said you still can't play, and I gotta say, this is great. Okay, this is great that there is, that they are working on this. It's great that they are telling us that, what, they do know about the console players situation that is going to be fixed. Everyone who is in console who hasn't been able to, get into a match or kick from a match, this should fix it. But, and this is something very important that I want to say, this doesn't mean that the situations are all fixed yet. Personally, for me, I experienced this over the last couple of days. If you guys watched the video that I did, talking about the dashing hair Ken setup that I made and everything, and I'm loving it. By the way, I'm loving my setup. I did change out. I actually have tried to put in there the Fallen Love Ranger Jonesy. Actually, it's actually made quite a bit of difference. And yes, losing a few seconds off the shadow stance hasn't been so bad, but I like it. I like having the extended shadow stance. I do like having the increased amount of energy being returned. So it's been really nice. But anyway, before I get too off on topic, for me personally, when I was actually making that video, you guys didn't see this part, but I spent about 20 minutes of that time while I was making that video, maybe even longer, trying to get into a match. And every single time that I would try to get to a match, it would seem like it was going to go and it would kick me out. So it wouldn't actually let me lock into a match. I was on private. I actually tried to go into a play with others. I tried to do several different things to just try to get into a match, to try out that setup. And constantly I had that problem where I wasn't able to get into it. Now, how was I fixing it? And I think I said this before, but if you're on PC and you're still having that problem, what I was doing is I was just backing out into, where you can choose the game mode, creative, battle royale, save the world. I'd back out to there and then go back into the save the world, and I would be able to go into a match. But it was constantly doing this to me. So I've actually reported this. I've looked, on Reddit. I've looked to see if they've had any other information about this, and this has not been something that's been talked about. So I'm kind of like, this is where this turns into kind of like a let's talk, or I don't want to make this into a rant, but I may need to. Actually, you know what? Before we go into that whole rant thing, let's just wrap this part up. Yes, they are working on that. Yes, it does seem like there will be it will be changed for console players. So all you console players, you know what? I gotta say this though. I really hope that for a lot of people that were affected, especially for console players, PC players, everyone who was affected, especially on Wednesday. I know a lot of people who weren't able to get the shotgun because they couldn't get the gold the last day. So for all of that, I really do hope that they do some sort of compensation for people to be able to get, get something out of it, because I also know a lot of people who unfortunately have, just they've lost a lot of love for the game right now, and I know a lot of people who are just kind of like, they've moved on to other games even, and again, we'll talk about that in a second. Let me wrap this up. So the last thing I want to talk about right now is something that we did see recently also, and wasn't really that talked about, but over on Reddit for the Save the World roadmap, you guys know we had that roadmap last week. Something has changed. So we've already gone through the week 8.3, 8.4. Next week is 8.5. This coming week is going to be a huge update because we have the Twine Peaks difficulty scaling right here. We're going to talk more about that probably on tomorrow or Tuesday or sometime. Whenever I do my coming soon video, we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about what I think is going to happen, what I hope to see happen, some of the funny stuff we talked about on stream of what could happen. So we're going to talk about that. But very important to look up here that something has changed. They have said that the new Steampunk Spear is not going to be here. See? New Steampunk Spear, Fear the Steampunk update. This has been moved to a new release time. It needs some additional work to be done before it's returning. What does that mean? Does that mean that they found that the Steampunk Spear, something was wrong with it? Was it causing some issues? Is that what caused all these issues? Is that what caused the blasters the red eyes to just disappear one day? We don't know. We don't know. But apparently, this is nice to see. It's nice to see that they did identify that there was an issue with the spear, so they pulled it out. And what are we getting instead? We're getting the bowler back. Yes, the bowler is returning. The bowler will be replacing the Steampunk Spear. Lay waste to the husk with his returning launcher, buffed by Avast Mateys. I am actually going to be talking about that very soon with my new setup, using Blakebeard in my setups to buff that up, man. It's actually been really, really fun. I've been testing it a couple of times. My 3 favorite launchers now, the Bowler, the Jabberwocky, and believe it or not, the Cannonade it's quite good now. I'm able to get some significant damage out of it now. So those 3 are buffed up by Blakebeard's perk, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's actually a lot of fun with all 3. If you don't have the Bowler from before, personally, I have to say though, I still prefer the Jabberwocky, even though it got nerfed, guys. Even though the damage got reduced, the impact got reduced, I thought, you know what, the Jabberwocky's done for. I'm never going to use it again. I was wrong. The Jabberwocky is still my favorite launcher out of those cannonball launchers. It's amazing. I love the Jabberwocky. I'm going to be taking it up to legendary perks very soon, guys, because it is amazing. I love it. Out of the 3, that one is still my favorite. And whenever I do my explosive constructor setup, I now use the Baron for speed in the first slot, the Jabberwocky for my explosive, and of course my Zap in my third slot. That's kind of how it's been. I love it. So the Jabberwocky is still my favorite. That's just what I end up using. But you know what? If you don't have the Bowler yet, the Bowler can be pretty awesome. Except it doesn't have the explosive impact, doesn't have the initial boom explosion, so it doesn't have that much, and the impact of course on the Jabberwocky is much higher, but we'll talk about that later this week. So the last thing we want to look here is the fact that the Bowler is returning. We're not going to really talk about anything else here apart from the fact that we do know that this next week is the Bowler instead of Steampunk Spear. Then on the week of 4/30, the last week of April, we're going to have the first week of May as well. You guys believe it's May already? We're going to have the Steampunk Drum Assault Rifle. Does that mean that the Spear is also going to come in there? We don't know yet. But we also know that that is not the end, guys. This is not the end. We're still going to have, after this, we're still going to have 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks of winter, 2 more weeks of version 8 before we go into version 9. So probably we'll be seeing the Steampunk Spear there before it goes away. But that's all I have right now to talk about that. Now I just want to, that's all the changes we have. Thank you very much to everyone who told me about this. A lot of people in the comments told me the last couple of days. As some of you may know, I have been extremely sick the last 48 hours. It's not been good. But I'm feeling a lot better now. Thank you very much, everyone who was concerned and everyone who has sent well wishes. I thank you very much. I will be going back to my regular scheduled programming and streaming starting next week. On Monday, if you guys want to check out my schedule, it's over on Twitter. We'll be streaming every day. We're going to be streaming some new stuff this week as well. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be really fun. I'm probably actually going to be releasing a video about that maybe later tonight, actually. You never know. So maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow. But yeah, we'll be doing that and we're going to be checking this out. Thank you very much, all of you guys who told me that this was happening, that the Steampunk Spear was gone away. And now that we're done with that, I do want to take a quick minute to talk about the changes and talk about what's going on. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I've had this conversation with a couple people already, and I gotta tell you guys, it's not been a happy conversation. There's several people that I've talked to that have been extremely disappointed at the fact that they can't play, and with other games that are currently available right now, there's people who have moved away from Fortnite, and you know what? I can't blame them. I can't blame them. This week has been extremely difficult. I understand a lot of people who have been coming to the streams the last week ever since all the problems started. So many people were coming, and a lot of people were wondering, how can you play? Why is it that you're playing? You know, I never really had that much of a problem. A lot of people who came to the stream who were playing with me, even though they weren't able to play, they were able to join me and play that way. And that was pretty good. You know, that was pretty awesome. But for a lot of other people who weren't able, you know, the console players who just, the console degradation was just horrible, getting kicked out of everything. It's not something that is going to be, it's in no way a positive. It's in no way a positive. I will say this though, the fact that they tweeted this out today, that was pretty awesome. But it's been 5 days. It's been 5 days since this has been happening. I'm not going to compare it with Battle Royale. I'm not going to compare with how fast things would get fixed over there. But it's a reality we have to face, that the development team for Fortnite Save the World is not as big as Battle Royales. They're not going to be able to jump on things as quickly, fix things as quickly as they do for Battle Royale or Creative. So because of that, it's important to understand that the position we're in, we're not going to be getting the same treatment that they do. We can't. And because of that, it's perfectly understandable if some people basically say, I'm not going to play this anymore. That's completely understandable. I'm not the person who is going to sit here and tell you guys that I'm defending Fortnite or I'm defending Epic Games for doing this or not doing something or not fixing something. 5 days in game time is a huge amount of time. In 5 days, you can find a brand new game, fall in love with it, and never play Fortnite again. And you know what? If you do, that's great. And the reason why I say that is because, and this is something that I have been asked a lot this week, a lot of people have been asking me, why do I defend Fortnite? Why am I still playing this game? I'm not going to say the language they use, but you know, it's this kind of game, it's that kind of game. And the basic reason, and a lot of you guys who come to the stream, you know this is how I feel. This game makes me happy. I am happy playing the game. I am happy making content for the game. It's very possible that one day I'm not going to be happy making content for this game anymore. And if that day comes, you guys are not going to see the content for this game on my channel anymore. And even so, there might be one day that I will not be happy playing Fortnite Save the World either. There will be one day when I'm going to log in and be like, you know what? I don't want to play this game anymore. I want to play something else, because going into this game is not going to make me happy. So that's the advice I give you guys. That's the encouragement I give you guys. If you're no longer happy playing a game, please don't force yourself to play it. Don't make yourself unhappy. Play what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy, guys. It's not something, you know, that you have to do. And if you feel like thinking, oh, I've spent so much money in this game, I've wasted so much money, well, ask for your money back or use it as an experience for the next game, and don't spend money into the next game. Don't do it. But if you do, and something that I say this to a lot of people, whenever I spend money on a game, whether I make content for it or not, but whenever I spend money for a game, my money, I think to myself, what happiness am I getting out of this? Like, what am I getting out of it? By playing this game and spending money in it right now, it's my entertainment. So I am consuming my entertainment in the moment. I don't expect that entertainment to give me to continue entertaining me for years down the line. It's like when I go watch a movie. If I go watch, I don't know who's going to go watch Avengers this week, but if you're going to go watch Avengers Endgame and you pay your ticket and you go into the movie, you don't expect the next day to walk up and be like, hey, I paid my ticket yesterday, I want to watch again. And again and again and again, over and over again. No, you consume the entertainment. You pay for it, you consume it, you move on. So that's how I feel about games like this. You know, if I buy a game for $50, $60 and I get, I pay for the entertainment I get out of it. I don't expect that to continue giving me entertainment years down the line. No, I don't. Do I expect the developers to continue supporting it? I hope they will, and that's why I'm paying for it, because I hope they will do it. But if they don't, then I'll ask for my money back or I'll stop playing the game. One or the other. There's a million games out there. There's a ton of stuff to do out there to keep me happy, and lots of things for that are for fun. And I'm not going to allow a game or what someone else says to bring me down. So I hope that kind of explains a little bit, because I've had that question a lot lately, of people asking me why I'm still playing this game, and saying a bunch of other things about the game. And you know what? I like the game. I like the game. I'm happy for it. It makes me happy to make content for it. I'm going to keep doing that. The day it doesn't, I'll stop. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, I am DUJ2. I just realized we didn't even go into the game. It's fine. I will see you guys very, very soon. I'll see you guys on the stream. Check out my schedule. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you guys, using my creator code. You guys are awesome. Thank you for listening to this rant. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.